The Razer BlackWidow Elite versus the Corsair K70 RGB. I am excited to do this one. I'm Real Gian and welcome to the channel. Both keyboards have the floating key design and they both have dedicated media controls and the volume scroll wheel. The font on both keyboards are more on the professional side, but the K70 that I have is swapped. So the K70 that you would typically get would get that gamer bold font, which some of you might like, some of you might not. I personally hate it, so I swapped them. Both keyboards have an aluminum backplate, which makes the keyboard look very premium. One thing you will notice is that as time passes, the keyboard can look pretty dirty in the case of the K70. It's actually not that bad of a process to clean it out, but you need to be patient if you plan on pulling out every single keycap. The BlackWidow Elite does have a RGB logo, but if you want the K70, then you can get the MK2 and you can have a RGB Corsair logo as well. I like the LED indicator more in the K70 because it's out of the way. I have noticed the LED indicator more on the BlackWidow Elite, which it can be annoying, but it's pretty much nitpicking at this point, so kind of take this with a mountain of salt. The BlackWidow Elite has the Razer in-house Kale box switch, and the K70 has the MX RGB blue switch, which does have consistency and reliability issue. If you want a brand name switch, go with the K70, but to be honest, that brand name isn't really worth much now. I'm not saying one switch is better than the other, which is sad because cherry switches used to be the best. It comes down to feel and sound. In terms of feel, I like the K70 more because the keyboard has been broken in, so the switches are softer. But I feel like the same can be said with the BlackWidow after the break-in period. In terms of smoothness, the BlackWidow has a smoother travel when I press the key gently, and it's just easier to actuate, whereas the K70, there's like this heavy weight before the key collapses and the switch activates. I think I'm going crazy, but that's what I feel like when I test them. For the BlackWidow, the light is on top of the switch, but there's a shield around the light, so I guess it's protected. And for the K70, the light's on the PCB, so it's also protected. Anyways, here's what they sound like. Both keyboards use the typical thin ABS caps because they are the mainstream gaming keyboard manufacturer. When you see a premium basic keyboard with thin ABS cap, you can thank these guys. The ABS caps aren't inherently bad, but it's just for the money. I think the consumer deserves better, but this is a battle that I don't think I'll ever win. The BlackWidow Elite has cable management slots, but these slots will kill your cable. The aftermath of the cable will look like your dog chewed on the cable, and if you have a dog, you might think that it's its fault. But don't blame the dog, instead of blame Razer for giving you terrible cable management slots. The K70 doesn't have cable management slots. Instead, it's got two stands on the bottom so you can raise your keyboard completely. I don't know if people ever do that, but if you have the option for it, both keyboards have USB pass-through, but the BlackWidow also has audio pass-through. So I'm not sure if you guys ever use the auto pass-through, but you have the option for it. Both cables are braided, but the BlackWidow has rubber cable ties, which is nice because it's easier to manage your cable. Also, the BlackWidow has gold-plated USB tips. I'm giving them the win to the BlackWidow because it just has more feature that I believe people will find pretty freaking useful. The software on both are relatively easy to use. I would say the Corsair software is easier, but that's probably biased because I owned the K70 for so freaking long. It's probably just me getting used to the software more than the BlackWidow Elite. The thing that annoys me about the BlackWidow Elite software is that it crashes every single time I start my computer. This is only happening on my computer, so other people don't have the same problem. I like the Corsair software more because they have more layers of lighting effect. Like, for the BlackWidow, let's say I think it's about like 3 layers including the background light. But the K70, I believe there's about 5. I think Razer can easily do these layers if they patch the software and put more layers as of this video. So, I'm giving the K70 the win for the software, but I feel like with updates, it's probably going to be like a draw. In terms of the retail price, I think both are priced pretty similarly at $170. So, with this in mind, I'm giving the overall win to the BlackWidow just purely based on value. I feel like the BlackWidow gives you more value for the money. If you still trust in brand name switches, I say go with the K70. Also, go with the K70 if you want more lighting effects, at least at the time of this video. Both are pretty freaking expensive keyboards, but price change consistently. So just keep an eye out for discount. I'll link them to the description box down below if you want more detail. Subscribe, hit the bell for more content. You guys stay awesome.